for coming. My name is Katie Jurowski.
And Ben Miller.
There are a few people we would like to give a special thanks to before we begin. Mrs. Conrad and the instrumental band for the American theme medley. Residents from Traditions of Hanover for coming.
And the many staff members who helped organize the assembly.
And we would also like to say thank you to the bagpiper.
Does anybody know the 5 branches of the military? The Army. Yes. Another one.
The Air Force.
Correct.
The American flag. American States.
Marines.
Next one.
Great job. Throughout the assembly, we will be honoring our veterans by showing clips of a video which will highlight names and branches served. Now to honor our country, we would like to welcome the 5th grade Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts who will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone please stand. We have some special guests with us today. Please stand as we introduce you Jana and her puppy Jaws from Tales of Valor, Chris McGee from the Veterans Organization, and Team Red, White, and Blue Veteran Staff Sergeant Mike Story of the Marines.
Please welcome Jana and her puppy Jaws to tell us more about Tales of Valor.
Thank you all for having us here today. My name is Jana. I'm the program administrator for a local organization called Tales of Valor, Paws of Honor. Sit. As you can see, I have a very young puppy up here with me. His name is Jaws. He is named after Private First Class Stephen Jaworski, a World War II veteran. At Tales of Valor, our mission is to seek out the unwanted rescue puppy. We are also starting a breeding program of our own right now, but for the most part, all of our dogs are rescues. They are all a lab mix, and we rescue them anywhere between 8 and 12 weeks of age, and we start the process of training them to become a service dog. These service dogs are specifically for veterans that are suffering from things like PTSD or post-traumatic stress, or traumatic brain injury or physical disabilities. Okay. All of our dogs are named in honor of fallen service members, so each dog is a living legacy for someone that we've lost. We have about 11 dogs training right now. We're looking to get 3 more puppies in the spring and graduate another 1 or 2 before the end of the year. It does take 18 to 24 months to train each and every dog, and the cost of, on an average, $25,000 to $30,000 for each dog in training. However, we do not charge our veterans for these dogs one bit. These dogs are very well trained, they're highly skilled, and they will have at least 3 specific tasks they can perform for their veteran when they graduate. Things like waking them up from a dream, turning on light switches, or simply creating space for them to have a personal boundary. Jaws is about 4.5 months old, so this is a lot for him right now, so this is a great exposure for him. And thank you for the band and the bagpiper for playing, because he's never experienced that before. So that was really good for him, and he did very well through all of that. We also supply all of our veterans with food for the life of the team, as well as recertify them every year with our own public access test. So you'll never see one of our dogs in public that's not well behaved. And how many of you guys here have pets at home, dogs at home? Yeah? So you guys know, if you're ever out and you see a dog wearing a vest like this one, you can't just run up to it and pet it, okay? You always, always, always have to ask the person holding the leash if you can pet that dog or approach that dog. Yeah? Okay. You guys got a long assembly to go through. So, in about another year, year and a half, Jaws will be paired up with a veteran for life, and he will be that person's constant companion and sense of relief from whatever they're going through. So, thank you all for having us here. It's wonderful to meet everybody here today. Jaws is being very good. I'm very proud of him right now. So, thank you.
The 5th grade class would like to present donations to Tales of Valor. Representing the 5th grade class will be Skylar Miller to tell us a little bit more about their service project.
Asa Packer Elementary School would like to welcome Janet from Tales of Valor. Tales of Valor is a nonprofit organization that helps place service dogs with veterans. This program is designed to provide rehabilitation, support, and comfort to those who struggle with post-traumatic stress and physical disabilities. Recently, the 5th grade team ran a one-on-one donations fundraiser to see if we could reach a goal of $101 to donate to the Tales of Valor. We are happy to say that we exceeded this goal. On behalf of the 5th grade class at Asa Packer Elementary School, we are proud to announce that we raised $233. Toys and treats to provide your dog and human partners. In addition, we would like to present this card of well wishes from our 5th grade classes. It's been an honor to make this donation.
Harley Gleghorn to read what veterans mean to their classes and then watch a short video.
service. First grade designated a veteran who is someone who believes in themselves. Support each other to stay strong. Protect our land and keep us safe from bad people. First grade also learns their great leadership.
Second and third grade will now be singing. Thank you, second and third grade. And here are our second and third grade speakers, Lena Dower and Joey Miller, to read what veterans mean to their classes.
Second grade recognizes a veteran who is someone who will always be there to protect us and make our world a better place. You are heroes to us. We love you and thank you for serving our country.
Third grade recognizes a veteran who is someone who saves people's lives, serves their country, and gives us justice. Veterans work as hard as they can and never give up. Thank you for all that you do.
We would like to welcome Chris McGee from Team Red, White, and Blue to talk to us about Parent Pack.
Hey guys, thanks for having me today. I'm retired Army Staff Sergeant Chris McGee, and I'm part of Team Red, White, and Blue. So what Team Red, White, and Blue is we're a group of veterans and civilians, just like you guys. And what we want to do is get our veterans out there and active, running, hanging out, doing good stuff, and not letting themselves get depressed and sad and sitting home alone, because none of us want that, right? So that's what we do. And you know, Veterans Day is the day that we say thank you to veterans, right? Can anybody tell me the best day of the year to say thank you to a veteran, like all these men and women back here? What day do you think? That's the right answer. When you see one of these great men and women back there with those really cool hats on, telling you where they serve, wear a jacket, and they're out at Walmart, or they're walking down the street, you absolutely can walk right up to them and say thank you for what you did. And let me tell you, it means the world to them when you do it. And you know what? You know who I'm here to thank today? You guys. Because you put those really cool boxes out here in the school, and you fill them up with stuff. And you know what a care package is? It's like Christmas morning to somebody that's thousands of miles away. That's what it's like. Because you guys put all that stuff together, and then what my team does is we get a big group of people, and we take all that stuff and we divide it up so that everybody gets a little, and we send it all over the world to men and women who are over there protecting our country all over the world. So when you think about bringing something in for those boxes, everybody always asks me, what's the best thing I can bring in and put in those boxes? You know what it is? Whatever you like. My favorite thing to always get out of a care package was a card or a letter that somebody took some time and told me a little bit about themselves and said thank you, and then put one of their favorite treats in, because that's a little piece of home. And that's what a care package is. So guys, keep up the great work. Thank you for everything you put in those boxes, and thank you for supporting our veterans.
Fourth and fifth grade will now be singing.
Fourth grade is thankful for our veterans because they are volunteers who have signed up for a military career. They sacrifice their lives for others, keep our freedom, and give us hope. Thank you for all you have done and have done.
Fifth grade recognizes a veteran who is someone who leaves their homes and families to protect our country, keep our president safe, and makes our world a better place. We appreciate you.
doing, Asa Packer? Hey, when Mrs. Story asked me to come and speak to you today, you want to know why I said yes? I'm afraid of her. I said anytime we can get together in the same room and celebrate our nation's best and our nation's finest, that's where I want to be. So thank you for doing this. Next slide, please. So what are we going to learn about today? Quickly, we'll go over who are our veterans. We're going to come up with some words that best describe our veterans. We're going to talk about the term being deployed and what life is like while deployed. And then lastly, we're going to talk about some ways that we can appreciate our veterans. Does that sound good? All right, I think I heard somebody say they went over the 5 branches today: the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and last but not least, the Marine Corps. Next. So, shout them out. What are some words that are used to best describe veterans? We're brave. Strong. Yeah, honorable, good. Patriotic. Courageous, good. What else? Committed. Awesome. Those are, listen, you guys do not have to be a veteran in order to earn the title and earn these words. See somebody in the schoolyard being bullied or being picked on, you could be brave as well. So you could be just like your veterans that you love and that you respect by doing the right thing, right? So we talked about the term, or we will talk about the term, deployed. What does that mean? Well, the military defines it to move into position for military action. It's a lot, right? It sounds like a lot. What that means to you guys is to do your job away from your home for a long period of time. So what these next couple slides are, I have some pictures that we can look at to see what life is like while you're deployed. I had a special forces group in here this week. They asked the kids, what kind of questions are you guys interested in? So this is the information that we got back from our team. You wanted to know what you eat when you're deployed, how you get around, so what types of transportation. You guys wanted to know how you sleep overseas, and then you wanted to know if we had a recess. So we're going to jump into that. So does anyone know what we call food in the military? Chow, right? So you gotta say chow. So up here on the top left is MRE. And the MRE is known as a meal ready to eat. It comes in a bag. It's loaded with a ton of calories. And yes, that's a bag of M&Ms. We even get M&Ms. Yeah, we're lucky. We're lucky. On the top right is a staff sergeant from the Army there. He's eating what's known as hot wraps. So if he's on a forward mission and he's outside of friendly lines, sometimes the helicopter will be nice enough to drop some food in or some chow in for the troops. They get to eat it on the roof of their Humvee like that. On the bottom right, if you're really lucky, you get a gunnery sergeant from North Carolina, and he grills you up something from his home state. I think that's the best food you can get. And then if you're not very lucky, you get what you see on the bottom left of the slide. Doesn't look good, does it? No. Next slide. All right, so how do we get around? On the top left, we have an aircraft carrier. So most of the time, they're directed by the Navy, and the Navy will have troops on there, and they'll stay outside of a port and wait for them or their number to get called, and they'll bring the troops in. We also have a helo there, and we have some Army soldiers that are fast roping down that. It's pretty cool, right? On the bottom left, we have a high mobility multi-wheel vehicle, and it's also known as a Humvee. That's pretty much the common way to get around in an overseas environment. And never forget your own 2 feet. Still a lot of walking when you're not at home. That's a picture of a squad bay. It has to be the Army. It's a little messy to be Marine Corps. But yeah, that's a squad bay with a lot of military cots. Those military cots actually turn into a stretcher if you need them to be. But those are cots. Sometimes you might not get a cot. You have to sleep in your truck. Sometimes you have to dig a hole in the ground and sleep in that. I know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And sometimes you have to sleep in the bush for concealment. Listen, I didn't make the rules, I just tell you how it is. talk about playtime, right? We have recess. We're not always outside the wire or doing a mission. So there's a great organization known as the USO, the United Service Organization, and they put together donations from companies and individuals from all over the globe to put together what we know as recreation centers. They have pool tables, you can go and watch movies. If you're lucky enough to be at a base that has that. If not, you guys had those care packages that Chris was talking about. There's playing cards or deck cards in there. We love to play cards, and then everyone, if you get a chance, they lift weights. So those are some of the things. Oh, and like tennis balls, anything you can do to keep your mind off of the other stuff, like where you sleep, right? So what are some ways we can appreciate our veterans? Go ahead, let me hear some. Okay. All right, listen up. Look, thank you. The best way to appreciate veterans is when you go home tonight and you get to sleep in your own bed, and you get to have your mom and your dad's home-cooked meals, and you get to have all your holidays at your own home, and see your friends on a daily basis. Those are when you should really stop and be thankful for the things that you have, because your veterans didn't always have that. And the reason you have those things are because of our veterans. So that is the best way to appreciate them, is just by thinking about them. Good? We have one last slide. I'm going to need Principal Orbach up here. Where's he at? So, as Orbach, whenever we need to restore order and get everyone's attention, we use the position of attention. And that's where they would stand there with their feet together, their hands to their side, their chest out, their head forward, and most importantly, their mouth shut. So we're going to have the principal say, Asa Packer, hut. And when you hear hut, you jump up to the position of attention. Does that sound good? Yeah. Asa Packer, hut. Teachers, let's make sure they're looking good. Walk the ranks, walk the ranks. Give it a look. Chest out, feet proud, head forward, mouth shut. At ease. Thank you guys, thanks for having me.